All right, welcome back. This thing is got one letter left. So list has crud, task has crew. So the only thing we're missing is delete. We're actually going to allow our users two ways to do delete. For our power users, there's a feature most of the time on a lot of apps where you can swipe to the right, and you can see that our app doesn't yet support it. And that would bring up a done button over here. And so our list items can do it, right? So it can swipe over and delete. But our tasks, they can't, right? So they open up a thing. So we're going to do that. And then the obvious one is if somebody clicks the delete button, we want that to work as well. So let's go see if we can make those two things happen. So the first one is going to happen in the task view controller. There's actually a couple methods that they've stubbed out for us. Can edit row. What we want to do is we want to return yes to that. Not sure why it's still green. There we go. And then also, what do we do once somebody clicks on delete is the other thing. So the first one is very easy. Literally, we just uncommented it. I'm going to take out some of their comments, and then because I'm OCD, I'm going to fix the spacing. There we go. That looks better to my eyes. And then commit editing style. You can see that there's a thing for delete and there's a thing for insert. We don't do inserts this way, so just kill that. And so there's a comment that was left for us here that says delete the row from the data source. That's our job here. Really, what Apple should have done is they should have made that a to-do, right? So to-do, delete it from the data source. So what we've got to do is we've got to do the same thing we always do. So we want to get the task for this row, and that's just equal to self.task indexpath.row. And then in order to delete something, what we have to do is we have to have the managed object context. And he's got a method on him that says delete object, and we want him to delete the task for the row. Once you mark something for delete, it doesn't actually happen until you call save context, right? So our two helper methods, they just keep coming in useful, right? So we want to mark something for delete, save the context. Once you save the context, that modifies core data, but you may recall, we've run into this many times now, if our view is going to update, we sure better call self.task equals nil, and what that does, of course, is that forces the refresh. And then after that, they've actually already got the function which will make it go away. So this path of delete should be done, right? So if we try this guy, we click on one of these, now we can drag it across and click delete, and it looks like everything worked great. Come back into here, now I have nothing else to delete. I better make something so that I can delete it. So I'll just say test and save. And now what I want to do next is I want to make the delete button here do the same thing. So this one was pretty easy. Once you kind of get these things, you can start doing things quickly. And the delete over in here, it's going to be just as easy, to be honest. So here's the press delete function. And what we're going to do is really the same as what we did in the other place. We're going to get the managed object context. We're going to call delete object. The nice thing here is that we don't have to get it. We've just got it already. So self.task. Note that if it's a create, they won't even be able to click this button, right? So we're sure that if they click this button, then self.task it exists, right? Once you mark it for delete, I kind of wish that that method was called mark for delete. But once you actually mark it for delete, you save the context to delete it. And then the same thing that we did below, we'll do here, and that's just dismiss. So we'll just go back. Cool. So I think we just finished this app. So let's go check things out. So if I go into this test, I click on delete, and it's gone. Just to make sure it's gone, I'm going to actually close the app and open it back up, and it has none. So we've done a lot of stuff here. So we've done create for a list. We've done edit, so you can actually rename the list. I'll just call it my short list just for giggles. One thing you're going to do in the lab, by the way, is I don't really love these eyes, so you're going to do that a little bit better in the lab. That's one thing you're going to fix. And then we also have delete for a list, and there are two ways to delete it. You could like show the deletes like this, or you could just drag it over and click delete. So we did CRUD for the list, and then for the task, we've got the ability to create a task. One thing you're going to do in the lab, by the way, is add a lot more fields to a task. Also, you'll notice that really what I want to do is I just want to hit save right now, but instead I have to click done and then hit save. So you're going to add an ability to do that in one shot. You've got update for a task, so you can change it. So I'll just put exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point on there. You can also do an update by clicking the star. That actually is an update as well. And then delete, of course, we've got the two ways to delete. So you can click there, or you can click on the delete button here. Great, so you have just finished this app. We added those two simple ways to delete. There was one, then there was the other. And so now you are ready to ship this thing off and get credit for it. So you'll have to zip it up, submit it on Moodle, and if you're doing the demo video link, you'll have to make your video and submit it here. That's it. Nice work on the follow along. Next time we'll come back and we'll talk about the lab. All right, see you then.